Hello everyone, back to today's fourth video. So we're going to have a look at the GFS Ensembles, today's fourth and final video. We're doing Ensembles Watch. We're going to go through all members of the GFS Ensembles, including the operational GFS run, midday run of GFS, and see what they're all showing as we look ahead through the end of February and into the beginning of March. There are hints that things are going to be getting quite a lot colder, so we'll have a look at that and see what's going on as we move into the beginning of meteorological spring. It's been a very busy day today at GFS. It's talking of spring. The first video up was the 7th and final Spring 2020 Analogues update. So that's been an extended one as it's the last update. Spring forecast will be released next Sunday, 1st of March. That's when we'll release the GFS spring forecast. And that video will be placed, it has already been, it will be placed very shortly on the spring updates and forecast page. Also, GFS Study Roundup and the ECMWF Metro France and DWD Long Range Model update have been released today. So, a very, very busy day at GFS. Hope you've been enjoying all of the videos, all of the content. Please give us a thumbs up on videos. Let us know that you've been enjoying them. Let us know in the comments what you think about videos. And also, of course, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel if you would like to do that. Then you'll be able to be notified when we have further uploads. Right, so we're at westcentral.d and we're going to have a look, excuse me, we're going to have a look at the GFS operational midday run first of all, before we get on with the ensemble members. So we're going to be in on Wednesday, quite early on. We're starting quite early on with this, as we got a cold northwesterly feeding in across the country. An area of low pressure is just out to west of this. The exact track of this low pressure is going to be quite critical as to whether we get some snow going on Thursday. Let's have a look then and run through, see what happens with the operational GFS run. So in comes that area of low pressure. It's on a bit of a southerly track look. It'll be on the northern side of that low, but there's a risk of snow. So for Thursday, there could be a risk of snow through parts of northern England, Wales, possibly the Midlands. If the low goes any further south than that, then that could actually bring the snow risk down into southern parts of England on Thursday. Then we've got another low pressure coming in from the Atlantic as we get through into Friday. This is still an unsettled and changeable scenario. The difference is that the jet stream has shifted southwards down towards the Bay of Biscay, indicated by the black line just there, and that places on the cold side of the jet allows cold air to envelop these areas of low pressure. It will always be on the northern side of the lows that there's the greatest risk of snow. Now that's into Saturday, and that looks as though the low is ploughing in across England and Wales, so a risk of a snow event there perhaps for England and Wales on Saturday. That does look quite cold and wintry. Then that low gets out of the way and we start to build in a ridge of high pressure there. That turns us drier, colder and frostier through the second half of next weekend, but it's not long before more low pressure is coming in from off the Atlantic. This one's got a big warm sector with it, so this is bringing milder air, and I would have thought mostly rain around Tuesday the 3rd, running up towards day 10. We find excuse me, another little low pressure takes a southerly track down across some parts of the country. Could be rain, snow there on the 4th of March. This is all looking much more interesting than any point through this winter from a cold snow perspective. Then winds go into the north, still with these sort of southerly tracking low pressures though. Another low pressure coming in there as we end this particular GFS run, and heights are rising over Scandinavia, so everything being shoved down into the Med by the time we get through to the end of this GFS run, which is Tuesday the 10th of March. That pulls in a colder easterly wind. That's a pretty wintry GFS run, I have to say. That's perhaps one of the most wintriest GFS runs that we've had through this winter so far. Quite interesting what we're seeing there. Right, let's see how that compares though to all the other, so that's the operational run. Let's see how that compares to all the other ensemble members. This is the GFS control run. So the control run is run at a slightly lower resolution compared to the operational run, but a higher resolution compared to all other ensemble members. Starting on Wednesday in a cold and showery northwesterly wind, and we can see that as we run through we're going to get this area of low pressure starting to move in from off the Atlantic. Now, the control run takes that low pressure even further south, so it actually misses us. The low pressure goes down into France on Thursday, so no snow event with that. Then we go through to the weekend. That Saturday, low pressure again is coming in from off the Atlantic Ocean. It's further north though this time, so for England and Wales that's just rain, and it would be snow up across Scotland and Northern Ireland. The exact track of these low pressures will be very critical to determining who gets rain, who gets snow. That low pressure gets out of the way in a week's time. Sunday the 1st of March goes to Norway and Denmark, and then we turn wind into the north, bring down a cold northerly wind. We've got more low pressures downstream. This one looks like could be on a little bit of a southerly track, this one. So that brings risk of rain, sleet, snow there through to the 3rd of March. We get up towards day 10. And low pressure still piling in from off the Atlantic. This is still a very unsettled scenario with further bouts of rain. But the difference is that with the jet stream going south, we're allowing cold air to push into these areas of low pressure. And then moving into more extended range, we've got hints anyway of northern blocking beginning to try and get going in the North Atlantic, and winds going into the north. That's not as wintry. That run is not as wintry as the GFS operational run. Nevertheless, it does have its moments, and it is quite a cold scenario. This is ensemble member number 1. If we can move over to that, there we go. We're into a cold northwesterly wind on Wednesday with low pressure out to the west of us. And that low pressure is going to head in from off the Atlantic. And as it comes in, it's going to bring the risk of some rain or snow on Thursday. And it's moving in across southern England. So that brings the snow risk on Thursday through northern England, Wales, possibly to the Midlands as well. And then we go through to Friday. More low pressure comes in from off the Atlantic. That turns things wetter, windy. But it's a big warm sector in with that one, so probably limits the snow mainly to the north. Then the low moves out into the North Sea. We pull down a cold northerly wind, and we move through towards day 10. Another low pressure starts to develop from the southwest. This one again on a little bit of a southerly track. That's how we look at day 10. Now that looks very snowy at day 10, which is Wednesday the 4th of March. The low pressure is to the southeast. We're bringing in a strong and cold northeasterly wind, so I think there will be some quite heavy snow in with that for many of us. That low gets out of the way. Another one is starting to move in from off the Atlantic. This one much further northwards, big mile sector in with that. Although eventually the low is pushed away to the southeast into the continent. Heights start to rise across the west of Europe. That's how we finish up with ensemble member number 1, setting up a Scandinavian high and an easterly wind. This is ensemble member number 2. And I'm going to move this over to 12 hours, 12-hourly intervals, so we can try and get through this a little bit quicker. So we've got winds in from the northwest on Wednesday. Low pressure is downstream in the Atlantic. As we go through to Thursday, we'll see if we can enable the mouse over. Maybe we can't, so let's try and enable mouse over again. We can see that the low pressure downstream in the Atlantic is going to start moving in. It's further south though this time, so it just goes into France. We don't get snow on Thursday. Then low pressure diving in from the North Atlantic by Saturday, bringing a risk of rain, and as that low pressure pushes away to the east, winds turning to the north, it starts to get colder. Then more low pressure is piling in from off the Atlantic Ocean. That's coming up against a Scandinavian high as we get up towards day 10. This is Tuesday the 3rd of March. So looking wet, windy and potentially snow in with that as the low pressure starts to grind to a halt as it comes up against that Scandinavian high. And then we go into extended range of ensemble member number 2, Mid-Atlantic Ridge. Winds are turning into the north there. That looks pretty cold and wintry, that one, and there will be opportunities for snow at time. Obviously, with all of this, detail is going to be in the detail. Detail is to be determined, but so far they all look like they have some wintry potential. Ensemble member number 3, with low pressure again out to the west on Wednesday into Thursday. That low pressure gets ever closer to us. It's a bit further north this time though, so that brings more in way of rain to England and Wales with snow likely further north. Moving into next weekend, so quite unsettled and cold, winds in from the northwest, more wintry opportunities. Again, we've got the Scandinavian high beginning to build here as we go through to Tuesday the 3rd of March, as heights rising over Scandinavia, or having a go anyway. But low pressure eventually starts barreling in from off the Atlantic, and that's a milder option. Also, member number 3 gets things milder as we move through to the second week of March. Still quite unsettled though. Ensemble member number 4 with winds in from the northwest on Wednesday. We go through to Thursday. That low pressure coming in on Thursday is a bit further northwards again. So exact track of this is critical. If it's down to the south, then it'll bring a snow risk parts of England and Wales. On that scenario, it brings the snow risk really to Scotland, possibly just to northern England, and it will be rain further south. So the exact track of that low on Thursday is going to be very, very important. That low pressure clears out way into the North Sea, turns winds into a strong and cold northerly wind. Then another low pressure comes in from the southwest next weekend. That's got all the hallmarks of a snow event across many parts of the country by Saturday the 29th of February. That could deliver quite heavy snow across many parts of the country next weekend. And then up to the northeast, heights are rising. Another low pressure is coming in from off the Atlantic, but hitting that Scandinavian high and being blocked, so there's wintry potential in with that as well. And just look how different all these ensemble members are now starting to look, with heights to the north, to the northwest, to the northeast, something that we haven't seen throughout this winter at all. So we're moving into the very end of meteorological winter, the start of meteorological spring, and the pattern is definitely shifting very, very significantly here. This is ensemble member number 5. Winds are in from the northwest as we go into Thursday. Low pressure is moving to France this time. The low pressure is actually slipping away to our south, moving into the extended range up to day 10. We can see that we stay quite cold. These areas of low pressure again on a southerly track. No, not really as cold with this one. So member number 5 is a little bit of a milder solution, especially towards the end of it when we start to bring up some southwesterlies. So that one's a milder option within the GFS ensembles. Ensemble member number 6, again, cold showery northwesterlies for Wednesday, low pressure downstream in the Atlantic. What happens with that low pressure? So this one's coming in across England and Wales. That probably brings a snow risk to Northern Ireland and Northern England, with rain down in the south. That low pressure then gets out of the way. Another low pressure comes in for next weekend. Detail with that, very, very sketchy, of course, at this stage, but there is a rain snow risk next weekend, I think, for some of us. Winds are in from the east there as we move up towards day 10. So again, another ensemble member that's trying to build up this high pressure over Scandinavia, and low pressure coming up against that high is being blocked and forced southwards. Eventually, we finish up ensemble member number 6, bringing in a milder southwesterly wind. We never quite pull up Scandinavian high. Ensemble member number 7, winds in from the northwest next week, on Wednesday, I should say. That low pressure that might give us a snow event on Thursday just sort of slips by to our south with ensemble member number 7. So they've all got that low in different positions, and then into next weekend we find another low clears away into the North Sea, turns winds into the north temporarily, but this one just keeps the low pressures coming. Quite a stormy ensemble member number 7, and doesn't get us particularly cold. We finish up actually starting to build up a bit of a ridge. That's a milder option again, ensemble member number 7. Ensemble member number 8, cold showery northwesterlies for Wednesday, low pressure downstream in the Atlantic. That low pressure coming in across England and Wales on Thursday probably brings snow risks to northern England, Wales and the Midlands. That one on Thursday, rain down in the south. That low clears through. We go through to Friday and next weekend. More low pressure coming in from off the Atlantic, rain and snow risks in with that. And then we move up towards day 10 and further low pressure coming in off the Atlantic. The one takeaway we can take from all of this is that it's staying very unsettled. The only difference is that, it's been very unsettled through the winter, but we've just mainly had rain Now snow is also starting to get involved in all of this. We finish up looking like that with high pressure up towards Iceland, low pressure over southern Scandinavia, winds are in from the north. That's pulling off much colder weather through the first 10 days of March. Ensemble member number 9, again, winds in from the northwest and low pressure downstream on Wednesday. That low pressure just about slips by into France on Thursday, so we don't get much in way of rain and snow from that one, but then more low pressure comes in with a milder southwesterly on Friday. That pushes across the country into Saturday and Sunday, turns winds into the north, and then low pressure carries on heading in from off the Atlantic, and it stays very unsettled as we move up towards day 10 with further low pressure continuing to bring up very wet conditions. Winds going to the northwest with this one, and heights are beginning to rise to the south of Greenland. So all in all, this one takes a little bit longer to get there, but this one does turn things colder as well as we go through the first week of March. We finish up under an area of high pressure. It would be quite a cold ridge and would bring frost and fog potential. Ensemble member number 10, showery and cold northwesterly winds on Wednesday. Again, that low pressure slipping by to our south on Thursday. France gets some precipitation from that into next weekend. Very unsettled, and as the low pressure clears away into the North Sea, we're pulling a strong and cold northerly wind as well, with wind chill potential. Further low pressure coming in from off the Atlantic as we get up towards day 10, looking very unsettled and often quite cold there as well. Heading into the extended range on Ensemble member number 10, that's how we look. So again, low pressure just continues to bring further bouts of rain and or snow to many parts of the country. Right way up to the 10th of March, day 10, winds, not day 10, the end of the GFS run, 10th of March, winds are in from the north. Ensemble member number 11 has winds in from the northwest on Wednesday. Low pressure is out in the Atlantic. That was a little bit further north with a low. That could bring some snow to southern parts of England, actually, on Thursday. Then into Friday, we've got rain heading in from off the Atlantic with low pressure. Very unsettled next weekend. Low pressure continuing coming off the Atlantic. Notice heights are trying to rise over Scandinavia as well with Ensemble member number 11. Cold and unsettled there around day 10. And then we start to pull in a much milder southwesterly as we go through into the 9th of March. High pressure bed is ridging in from off the Atlantic, and we go drier, but also we'd be quite cold under that ridge. Ensemble member number 12, again, winds are in from the northwest on Wednesday. Low pressure hitting France on Thursday. Then very unsettled, winds in from the northwest next weekend, quite cold as well with that one. And then we move up to day 10, and that's how we're looking. So at day 10, low pressure is across the country, winds going in to the north, so that looks cold and unsettled. Heights rising to the north with this one, so it's trying to get us into a cold blocked type scenario. That's how we finish up. Been in between, and probably turn a little bit milder as well. Ensemble member number 13, showery on Wednesday. Thursday, again, this could bring snow to parts of Wales and the Midlands on Thursday from that little low. So all ensemble members are differing on the exact position of that little low pressure on Thursday. Friday, we're into more generally sort of wet weather, I would have thought, meant over the weekend. We see low pressure moving into the North Sea. Winds going to the north, it becomes colder. Heading into extended range, that's how we look. So this one brings up a mild southerly. Actually, that's a much milder option in the extended range. Ensemble member 13. Number 14, cold and showery northwesterlies on Wednesday. Low pressure further north for Thursday, a lot further north compared to some of these ensemble members. That brings wet weather in across much of England and Wales. Snow probably mostly over northern England and southern Scotland. Further areas of low pressure through to next weekend. Risk of rain and snow with that. Winds go into the north, and then these areas of low pressure continue to take a southerly track. through the course of the extended range, we start to bring up some milder southwesterly winds. Ensemble member number 15, cold and showery northwesterlies. On Wednesday, low pressure is centred over Wales this time for Thursday. Snow risk with valleys for North Wales and Northern England. Probably a bit of a snow event there, rain down in the south. Into next weekend, so cold, windy, unsettled conditions continue, rain and snow risks with that. And then we pull in this very cold northerly wind for a time into the early part of the second week of March. We finish up looking like that, unsettled still and quite wintry, particularly in the north. Ensemble member number 16, westerly winds, northwesterly winds for Wednesday, and then low pressure coming in off Atlantic through Thursday and into Friday. We keep things unsettled. Into next weekend, deep low pressure across the country. There's a risk of rain, sleet and snow coming in with that, and further low pressure is trying to head in from off the Atlantic as we move up towards day 10. We begin to get a ridge going out to the northwest. Winds are in from the northeast. That could well deliver some snow across many parts of the country there around day 10. And then the high pressure sort of tries to get to Scandinavia, doesn't quite make it, and sits over the top of the country, bringing drier conditions and probably quite cold and frosty weather too. Ensemble member number 17, northwesterly winds for Wednesday, back low pressures across northern France on Thursday with this ensemble member. And then into Friday and Saturday, again, the suggestion is definitely there around Saturday in particular for some sort of snow event across some parts of the country from those southerly tracking areas of low pressure. This one is building up a mid-Atlantic ridge in the extended range, or trying to turn things drier and colder. Ensemble member number 18, again, the northwesterly is in for Wednesday. Thursday, we have the low pressure through the channel. That's a channel low. Could bring a risk of snow to more southern parts of the country on that particular track. Into next weekend, again, quite cold and unsettled. Low pressure continuing to move through up to day 10. This was trying to build up a bit of high pressure over Scandinavia, and that's how we finish up as we get to the end of that ensemble member number 18, milder with westerly winds. Ensemble member number 19, cold and showery northwesterly. It's Wednesday. The low pressure sort of somewhere between France and southern England on Thursday brings the risk of rain into the south. Into Friday, winds turn into the north, and next weekend could have some wintry potential as well. Up to day 10, again, unsettled and quite cold too, with rain and or snow potential. Then we build up a mid-Atlantic ridge and try to take it to Greenland. The extended range is Saturday, 7th of March. Mid-Atlantic ridge trying to take the high up to Greenland. Winds turning into the north there. Proper northerly. That's a bitterly cold northerly, actually. And this one's turning things really blocked by the end of it. Look at that, high pressure around Greenland, Iceland, ridging to Scandinavia, winds in from the northwest. That's a proper wintry spell setting up there as we go into the second week of March. And then finally, for the ensembles, ensemble member number 20, again, Wednesday is at a cold and showery northwesterly. Low pressure is downstream in the Atlantic. This one develops that low pressure into a very significant feature and has it just about bang on perfect to deliver a snow event to many parts of England and Wales on Thursday with a gale force northeasterly winds. So if it was to come off like that with that little low, then watch out. That's a significant snow event on Thursday for many parts of England and Wales. Further low pressure coming in across the country through next weekend, bring rain, sleet or snow. And then into the extended range, we keep a sort of a westerly going. This one is trying to raise heights close to the country. So in the second week of March, it does turn us drier, and it is developing a Scandinavian high as well. So that looks like it's going to try and get us into a bitterly cold easterly wind. We can look at the GFS Ensemble graph to see how the upper air temperatures are looking. The last place we looked at in the sunny roundup was Exeter, so let's see how the upper air temperatures are looking. Overall, still rather colder than average, really, once we get the mild weather of today and sort of tomorrow out of the way. Then it looks like we're going pretty much cold now. There are a few days that just pop up above the red line, but generally trending a little bit cold average. Loads of precipitation spikes there as well. A lot of that rain, some of it snow. Remember, it's at Exeter, so it will be a milder place. Let's have a look at Buxton, and we can see there again averaging either average or generally a little bit colder than average really now as we go through to the end of February and the beginning of March. The last thing I want to show you is the precipitation type forecast based on that GFS operation run that we started off with. This is at the weather outlook. There is going to be snow opportunities if that operational GFS run comes off. So tonight we've got some rain and snow coming in from the Atlantic. Could be heavy snow for parts of Northern Ireland into the northeast of England and southern Scotland. We discussed this in Snow Watch yesterday. Real snow event could be on the way tonight and tomorrow morning in the northern part of the country. Rain further south. We could keep that snow going for much of the day tomorrow, actually, across central and eastern parts of Scotland. Then we go through to Tuesday and Wednesday. We're into that cold, showery northwesterly. Some of those wintry showers could penetrate inland Tuesday and Wednesday, but they're mainly in the north and west. Then we go through to Thursday, if we can do that. So we're up to Wednesday. Yes, wintry showers in the north and west. We go through to Thursday. That low pressure, remember, all Ensemble members are differing on the exact placement of that low, but the GFS operation run brings rain to the southwest, snow through parts of Wales and the Midlands on Thursday. Don't take that too literally. That low pressure could be pretty much anywhere from Scotland to France on Thursday. Then into Friday and Saturday, the GFS operation run brings some heavy snow into Wales and the Midlands. That's a proper snow event there through the Midlands over towards East Anglia, South East England overnight Friday into Saturday. And further sort of wintry showers possible after that, and then moving up towards the beginning of March, another snow event there around the 2nd of March. Heavy rain coming in off the Atlantic. That turns to heavy snow across many parts of England and Wales during Monday the 2nd of March. Once that gets out of the way, we go to the low res time frame then, but still the suggestion up to Wednesday the 4th of March of more snow through parts of England, Wales, and also heavy rain combined with that, and just generally quite a wintry outlook. That's the 7th of March. Snow then suggested for more southern parts of England down in towards the Channel. I mean, don't take those snow areas too literally. There will be a lot of chopping and changing on the detail, but it is definitely the suggestion that after this exceptionally mild winter, we are coming to the end of it on a much colder and potentially much more wintry note, and this could well last into the early part of March. If some of those Ensemble members come off that are trying to produce genuine blocking by the 2nd week of March, then we could be moving into a fairly prolonged spell of colder weather. Obviously, that's very speculative, but what we can say is that in the next week to 10 days, it's staying really unsettled. There will be further bouts of heavy rain coming through, but with us going on to the cold side of the jet stream, not only rain, we will also start to involve snow into this. It's already going to start for the north tonight and tomorrow, and over the next week to 10 days, I anticipate that snow risks will get more widespread. Where those areas of snow are, we'll have to firm up on the detail, but the broad picture is unsettled but colder with rain and snow coming into the mix. So it's getting quite interesting as we come to the end of this exceptionally mild winter. Right, that's it for videos for today. Hope you enjoy more. Please like, share, subscribe, all of that lovely stuff, and we'll see you tomorrow with a week to 10 day video update. That's all for now though, and thanks for watching.